fuss and howl. But ho, 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 who's got the last laugh now?
I am Riley Laurence, and you are checking out The Life of Ryely, my weekly podcast here at www.borntokillcomedy.com, Facebook Born to Kill Comedy, and always streaming live on Podomatic at Born to Kill Comedy. You can also check out repeats of these shows at YouTube, Born to Kill Comedy. Welcome to the show, folks. You know, you live here in Los Angeles, and you are bound to bump into celebrities every now and then, here and there. I've had my fair share, some more interesting than others. Paris Hilton. Maybe I should put some pictures up. You know, she's one of the most beautiful women in the world, and somehow I took the worst picture ever. But Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie, Mike Tyson, and we'll talk about, Busta Rhymes. That's a whole nother podcast. And more recently, Dennis Rodman. Good old Uncle Dennis. Now, here's the thing about Dennis Rodman. About a week before I had my encounter with Dennis, he had just come back from North Korea. And, you know, I was having lunch with my number one, Elaine. And I said to her, you know, it's interesting. This guy comes across like a drunken fool. I said, don't let that fool you. This guy's very smart. He's not, this is all an act, right? You figured when this Kim Jong Un from North Korea, who's got to be one of the worst dictators, you know, that is alive today. I mean, this is a guy that almost brought us to the point of a nuclear confrontation last year. Not to mention the atrocities that he commits on the North Koreans. The only saving grace that this guy had is we've lost all our dictators recently in the past 2 years, right? We've lost Saddam Hussein, phenomenal suit, right? He always with the suit and the mustache and the gun, right? Dictator. Osama bin Laden, right? He was another one in the mountains of Pakistan, Afghanistan, AK-47. Gaddafi, wow, he was another monster, but he was also with all the Pinochet, Castro. We lost all our uniformed dictators, right? And even Kim Jong-il, the father, last year, before the son took over. So here comes the son, right? Now, before I started to bag on him, when I discovered that his uncle, this was just a month ago, his uncle was executed by being fed to a pack of dogs, right? That's what they took. He took the, I would say the dictatorship dogs, right? The dogs of the dictatorship, starved them for 3 days, and put his uncle in a cage and let them loose. And they ate him, ripped him apart. Horrible, right? But as far as dictator executions go, that's pretty radical. Yeah, that's pretty badass, right? And if you didn't think that was badass enough, he had other people that he wanted to execute. So he tied him up, one of them, and he shot them with the anti-aircraft machine gun. I guess it does that, right? But they shoot giant bullets, like, you know, you don't shoot a person with that. It's crazy. He shot mortar shells. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is amazing. This is a guy that, as a James Bond fan myself all these years, finally we're going to get to the shark tanks with the lasers, right? Or the giant thing where the guy's got his legs spread and the buzzsaw is going to cut him right up the middle. You know, I'm thinking to myself, I want to write a letter. Dear Kim Jong, Shark Tank, you know, buzzsaw. What about the laser? You know, it's, the guy's insane. He's clearly insane. But getting a little more serious, he loves Dennis Rodman, which makes him even more insane. And if you think about it, if you had a friend that had a nuclear arsenal at their disposal, threatened to use it, and then said he wanted to hang out with Dennis Rodman, I mean, you'd commit this guy. So there I am, sitting at lunch, and I say to my friend, my number one, Elaine, I call her my number one Elaine, like in Seinfeld had an Elaine. I've got a couple of Elaines. She is my number one Elaine. And I say to her, you know, don't be fooled. I said, this guy is so smart. He got a knock on the door from the Men in Black. And they said, Dennis, your country needs you. We need you, Dennis. And Rodman was probably like, in my imagination, Rodman was like, whatever you need, I'm your guy. And they said, keep up the drunken act. Play the drunken fool. It's a great cover. You're doing amazing at it. You can play that. Keep doing that. Go to North Korea. Here's all kinds of high-tech gadgets and stuff, and do your spy work for the country. And we're going to give you the Congressional Medal of Honor. We're going to... we'll make a postage stamp out of you, right? And Rodman says, I'm your guy. I'm an American. I love this country. I was able to marry myself in 1994, which he did. Google it. Because I love this country. So I said to her, I said, don't be fooled. This guy's smart. That was a week before I bumped into him. I'm going to put a picture up. This is the before picture where I thought, hey, this will be a great Facebook profile. When you bump into Dennis Rodman, it's a great photo. Now, before I tell you how drunk Dennis was, let me tell you how drunk I was. I had a few. I did have a few. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't sloppy, but I was a couple sheets to the wind. And it's about 12:30, 1 o'clock. And I decide to slide into Pavilions for turkey meatballs and a 6-pack of beer, just to cap the night off, right? That gives you an idea how exciting my life can be sometimes. Turkey meatballs and a 6-pack at midnight. That's depressing. I just kind of bummed myself out. Anyway, I hear a commotion, right? I wasn't even paying attention. I hear a commotion. And I look up, and there's Dennis. Drunk. Sloppy. Blithering. Asinine. But I'm thinking it's all part of this giant CIA, NSA, Black Ops cover-up. I'm not going to be swayed by it. Until I noticed, you ever notice like people, they get like this white crusty stuff in the side of the corners of their mouth when they get really messed up. It's like they're cotton mouth and dry. I noticed that and I'm going, boy, this guy's going 100%. He's really buying into this act, right? I mean, he's really good. And I took this picture and I'm watching him though, and he's just a slob. I mean, you're going to see video. He's just a slob. And all of a sudden, people from Pavilions wanted to come out, and like the guy from the produce section, the guy that was stocking the beer, this guy, they all start to come out in their little white coats or whatever, and Dennis he's calling them out. This is Dennis's words, not mine. He's going, there's my Negro, there's my Negro. And every time he saw a black person in Pavilions, he called him his Negro. And I'm watching this guy, and I go, this is, I'm going to get this on camera. Because, you know, this guy's not acting. And I said, if this guy is going to North Korea, and he really is like this, I said, I'm going to call him out on it. Now, had I not been drinking, I would have been a little bit more articulate with what I was going to say to him. He was with a really overripe 50-something-year-old woman that was trying to pack it into a 30-something-year-old dress. And, you know, she just was wearing like that really offensive, flowery grandma rose perfume that it smells old, right? It's like the last thing you smell before embalming fluid. It was just, you know, the kind of women that put lipstick on the side of their cheeks instead of rouge, which is 100 years. That term is 100. What women use rouge anymore? But, you know, they put lipstick on there. Oh, dear he. She wasn't that old, but she might as well have been. And a lawyer. And they were in the line in front of me. And I take out my camera, and I'm going to ask him now. I'm starting to get pissed off because I'm passionate about the North Korean people, especially the women. No, but I'm passionate about the human rights violations. You know, it wreaks havoc on my anxiety levels when I hear that there's going to be a nuclear confrontation last year. So I take out my camera and I ask him, Dennis, what about Kim Jong Un? Film. No, Dennis. Listen to me. What about Kim Jong Un? I said to him. You are the Western world's greatest hope for getting information, maybe sparking peace in that part of the world. What can you tell me about Kim Jong Un? And he hit me. Oh yeah. And you know when you see basketball games and they hit each other, he dribbled my head like a freaking basketball. Boom. I said, like it didn't hurt, but I wanted to like fly back onto the hardwood court like they do. Oh, yes. But I didn't. I said, Dennis, don't hit me. Don't hit me, Dennis. Yeah, Dennis, it makes... I said, I just want to know about Kim Jong Un. You're going to see the video. And he did it again. Boom, he hit me a second time. And then I took a step back and I said, Dennis, what's going on? And he swiped at me a third time. That time I did one of those. Really? Did that just happen? And now he's gone back to North Korea another time. And now he's gone to rehab. And now it's all coming out. I held on to this video because, first of all, I wasn't necessarily proud of my behavior. I don't need the world to see that. But now that I have an opportunity on my own venue, on my own terms, I'm going to show the clip. This is my encounter, as I'll call the Dennis Rodman incident.
Guess what? Where you from? Ooh, it's so crowded. The city is awesome, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Real smart. Come on now. I go to...
What are you trying to say? Thank you.
Negroes.
And then
Hey, there's a Negro. There's a Negro. Negroes. Hey, there's a Negro. There's a Negro. Hey, wow.
DR. What could you tell us about North Korea? You're the Western Hemisphere's hope on North Korea.
Watch this. Watch this. See this guy right here?
Yes.
Videotape him. One day he's gonna do one thing. Create something for people about their lives. This guy, that eyeball, do one thing. It's always awesome. It's always awesome. He's
feel
right
it.
there. He's right there. Right, do one thing. And do your job.
Come on, tell us. What can you tell us about Kim Jong-il?
I did one thing, man.
And don't touch the camera.
I did one thing, man.
And don't touch the camera. Don't you?
Ask your mother. Right, do one thing. And do your job.
Come on. I will see you next time here on The Life of Ryely. My Robin.